Let us try to solve the exercise number 4 in the part A of Java lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to create a class called as pay with the data members name, salary, DA, HRA, PF, gross, and net salary. And there must be a method called as pay. That is, there must be a constructor uh, with two parameters. One is for the name and the salary, and it must initialize all the other variable. Also, there must be a calculate method that is going to calculate the salary and its component. The details are given over here. And there must be one more method called as display that's going to display the details of the salary. Also, we are supposed to create the object out of this class and then compute the salary. So let's go ahead and let's create the class with the name pay. So this is the name that we are supposed to use to create the class. I'm going to go to the NetBeans and I'm going to go to the file and I'm going to create a new project. So I'll click on the file and new project. It is at a new project. And in this new project, I'm going to select the and under this and I'm going to select the Java application. And then let me click next. You can save your project at a convenient location, but I'm going to just save it in my document. And I'm going to give a name to my project and I'm going to say compute salary. You can give any other name also. Let me click finish. So the NetBeans is going to create a project with the name compute salary, and there will be a default class with the name compute salary. Even though we are not going to use that for our work, we are going to create a separate class altogether. If you go to the projects over here, so under this project, again project, if it is not visible, see to it that the projects are visible. You have a lot of options over here. Show details of the toolbars, and within the toolbars you can see all the details. Let's go here, and you also have the window option over here that will help you to show the details about the project. Suppose if I want to see the project, I can just click on window and then click on the project to see the project. In the same way, window, and if I say click on the output, I will see the output option, and so on and so forth. So let me go to the project, and within this project I have created a project called as compute salary. I'm going to click on this right arrow. It's going to turn down to the down arrow, and under the source packages, again I'm going to click on the right arrow, and then under the package compute salary, there is going to be one class which is already created by the NetBeans. We will not be using that particular class. So I'm going to right click on this package, right click, and I'm going to say new Java class. Suppose if this option is not available, go to the others and you will see the option for creating the Java classes. You will get many options over here. Select the Java class and click next. Both the options are same, whether you right click and immediately click on the Java class or come here and do it. In any case, you are going to reach to this particular dialog box, and in this dialog box I'm going to use the name of this class as pay as specified by them, and I'm going to click on finish. Now they have said that this particular the pay class must have some details. If you notice there is a remark statement which is of no use to us right at the top. I'm going to just delete it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And if you want, you can fill the details about yourself when the project is created, when this particular exercise is created, and so on and so forth. Now let's go to the information that they have provided. We are supposed to create a string, these many things there. So I'm going to just copy them and then paste it over here. so that it is easier for you to visualize. So we are supposed to create a variable called as name. Okay. And then I'm going to just zoom in for you, and then I'm going to just put a semicolon, and all the remaining parameters are all double, so I will not keep on creating it. I'm going to just say double salary and double DA. Let me remove some spaces over here. Double HRA, double PF, double gross, and double net salary. So many things have to be created, and I've created all of them. Slightly reduce the spaces so that you can see them in one screen. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to create it. And then they have said that we are supposed to create a constructor, that is parameterized constructor, that takes a string and double. You know how to create a constructor, but because I'm using the NetBeans, let me get the options that the NetBeans provides you to create a constructor. To create a constructor, you have to just press Control space. Now, if you press Control and space, you will be given a choice, like you can create the constructor that is the default constructor, and the constructor with all the parameters. But according to them, we are not supposed to create all the parameters. We are supposed to get only these two parameters. So how do we create it? Now you can directly create it, but let me show you what is the other way around. You can create it using the NetBeans. So if you right click this place, you get you have to right click at the proper location, not at any place you like to right click. So within the class, if you right click it, you get an option to insert code. So if you click on this insert code, you will be given a choice for creating getters and setters, getters along with the setters, and to override some methods. I'm going to go with the constructor. Okay, so when you say constructor, it's going to give you which are the parameters that you want to use it in the constructor. I'm going to say name and salary. I will just select the name and salary, and I'm going to click generate. Okay, now during the examination it is easier if you type it, but I've just shown you what is the other way around, in which suppose if you forget to create the constructor, what is the other way around in which you can create the constructor. So this is not the end of it, because you have to initialize all these parameters, I mean all these member variables. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to initialize all of them one after the other. So I will say, where is this thing gone? Equal to 0, DA equal to 0, and let me put a semicolon, and HRA equal to 0, semicolon. Let me delete this comma. PF is equal to 0, okay, and gross is equal to 0. Also, net salary is equal to 0. Now you can optionally use this here, because you are initializing the variable. Not really required, but just for the sake of completion, I'm going to just paste this dot d, this dot HRA, this dot, not really required. Remember, without this also your code is going to work fine without any problem. But just for the brevity of explanation, I have just put this in front of it, just to say that it is related to the object that is getting created. Now let's look at what is the next thing that they have asked. They have asked us to create void calculate, one method called as void calculate. Let's create this method. So I'm going to go over here. I will create a public method. So I'm going to say public void calculate. And what is this going to do? It's going to calculate the details for DNS allowance, house rent, provident fund, gross and net salary. So let's start with the DNS allowance. So in the DNS allowance, DA is equal to whatever is the salary into 15%. This is what they have said, 15% of the salary. How do you get the 15%? The longest way is to write 15 by 100. Easiest way is to write 15 into 0.15. That the minute. Salary into 0.15, that's going to create the other one. Let's look at the HRA. So I'm going to just copy this one and I'm going to say HRA is equal to something. And let me do the other one. Then the provident fund is equal to. So I have just copy pasted it and made this changes. Okay, now all of them are not the 15%. So the first one is 15%, second one is 10%, third one is 12%. So I'm going to make changes accordingly. So first one is 15%, second one is 10%, third one is 12%. So 12 is 0.12, 10 is 0.1, and 15 is 0.15. So if you divide it, you can get the same thing. So you have the provident fund. Then we have to calculate the gross salary. Gross salary is nothing but sum of all the things that come into, or that is added into our salary. So if you go here and if I want to create this gross salary, gross salary is salary plus DA plus HRA. Okay. These are the one that is added. What about the net salary? So how do you calculate this net salary? To calculate the net salary, so what they have said is the net salary is gross salary minus provident fund. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say net salary is equal to gross salary, whatever you have calculated gross salary, minus provident fund. So that is what is our gross salary. I've removed one extra line was there that extra blank line was that I've removed it. Now let's look at what is the next thing. The next thing that they have said is create one more method called as a display that will show the salary details. So let's create one more class. I'm going to say public and I'm going to say display, which will show you all the details of the employee. So let's use yes out, and I'm going to say what you can say is employee name, okay, and you can use the concatenation plus name. So this is the employee name, whatever name you are storing, this employee name you want to show it. Okay. Then let's use the yes out. Now I'm going to use the printf function, which you are already, where is it to go? I'm going to use the printf function, which you are familiar with this. So how do you say printf function? The next one is a salary. Okay, and I'm going to say percentage point 2f. This you have done it in your C programming, and I'm going to say salary. Okay. In the same way, is there any problem with that? Okay. Width must be specified in point 2f. What is it? Width must be specified in. Okay. Yes, let's see. Well, let me see what is it trying to say. Okay. Let me first show it without width, and then I will fix it. Okay. I don't know what is it trying to say to me, but I've you removed the point to f. I'm going to fix it later. Let's see what it is trying to say. Then what else we have? We have dearness allowance. Now in the examination, if you can type it very fast, like me, you can just type DA equal to, okay. But I'm going to, because I'm recording it, I'm going to assume that I have typed it. Okay. I've typed dearness allowance, and this is going to be DA. In the same way, I'm going to just copy this thing a few times so that it is easier for me to copy paste it other one later. So a few things I'm going to just copy. Just assume that I'm typing all these things. Next one, what you have here is the house rent allowance. So I'm going to just copy it and paste it here. Remember, you don't have the choice, this kind of choice during the examination. You can't copy paste it, but just assume that I have printed this one, and this part is HRA. Okay. And those who are watching this video for the first time, remember this is nothing to do with your program. This is the NetBeans way of saying that this is the argument and this is the format specifier. Don't get confused with those things. It has nothing to do with the program. Okay, but you can't avoid that in the NetBeans. The newer version of the NetBeans, if you are using the older version of the NetBeans, they were not doing it, but the newer version, they have done it. Okay, so let's go to the next one, that is the Provident Fund. And let me copy that Provident Fund, and let me paste the Provident Fund here. So this is Provident Fund, and this is PF. Okay. So this is PF. Done. Let's go to the next part, and what else we have. Next part is the gross salary. I am just copying it, Control C and Control V. I'm just using that option here, just to avoid the avoid unnecessary dragging of the video. So this is gross salary. I've taken it as what is this, gross salary, and the next one is the net salary. You would have typed it, but anyhow, because I started copy pasting it, let me be in that same thing. Okay, so let's copy paste this, and I have pasted it here. So this is a net salary. I'm going to now say this part is net salary. Okay, done. Not netscape, net salary. Okay, done. Now if it is coming like this, and if you notice that these things are not aligned properly here, so you notice what is the easiest way is right click, and you have an option to format. Right click on the blank place, anywhere you can right click in the blank area, right click, and you have an option to format it. Immediately entire code will be formatted for you. You don't need to do anything with that. Okay, now let me save it. Let's look at the next thing. Next thing that they have said is create a main method. Okay, let's create a main method, and then we are going to create the classes. That is what they have said. So I'm going to go here outside this method, but within this class. So this is a static void main. Okay. This is public static void main. Okay. And press tab. So you just missed the public. So public. So if you just type like this in NetBeans, that is public static void main, and press tab. That means we'll complete the remaining part for you. Now let's try to get the salary, and the two things we are supposed to get. One is the name and the salary. So two things are the only requirement within this program. One is this name, the other one is the salary. So only two things are required. So let's go ahead and let's get them. In order to read something from the keyboard, we need a scanner class. So I'm going to say CANN control space, and the NetBeans is intelligent enough to guess that I'm going to use an import statement with the java.utility.scanner. So if you are writing it in Notepad or anything, you have to type that whole thing. With the NetBeans, we can avoid so much of wastage of time. Let's use in, and then we can say new and scanner class. Okay, and within this scanner class, I'm going to take the input stream as my source, and I'm going to say system okay, dot in. So this is what we have done, and I'm going to use s out, and I'm going to say enter employee name, Just for brevity, I'm going to make it as print, not println. I'm going to use print, not println, because I want it to come in a single line. And then I'm going to read the two variables. Let me create this two variable. One is a string ename, and the other one is double salary. I'll create two variable so that I can read this variable. So I'm going to read the value into ename. I'm going to say ename is equal to in is my scanner object, which is able to read from the system.in. So it can take the input, and I'm going to say next control space, you can do it, and I can say next line. So I'm going to read one line as the name of the employee, and again I'm going to press yes out, and I'm going to say salary. Okay, and I'm going to read that one. SAL is equal to, again SAL is equal to, again in is my scanner object. You notice that in is my scanner object, and within this in I'm going to read the next double. Okay, so I'm going to read the next double. So I have read that thing. Let me create a object of type pay. Remember, you have created this class called as pay, and let me create the object of type pay. So let's create pay. P is equal to new pay, and I just press PA, I type PA and I press control space and press enter. NetBeans will say that there is a constructor, that is parameterized constructor, and I press enter, and NetBeans is intelligent enough to say that name, which is the parameter. If you notice here, first one is the name. In the constructor, you have first one is the name, second one is the salary, and that is what is NetBeans is showing. Name is the ename that you have just read from the keyboard, and salary is the SAL that you are reading from the keyboard. So you have created a new object, and then we can use what else we can use, we can you call this p dot calculate method, also p dot what else you can what else they have said is where is it gone? They have said that net salary has to, not net salary, the one is this calculate and display, two methods they have to call. Okay, so let's call the next one is display is the next method. Now before I call this display, I'm going to just use s out and say salary details. Okay, just to highlight that this is the salary. This is not really required for your examination. I'm just doing it so that it looks slightly neat. Now in my case, because it is not directly compiling, I'm going to go to the run and I'm going to say clean build. Okay, now you don't need to do this particular thing. I'm going to do it because in my case I realized that it is not compiling as is. Well, directly it is not compiling, so I'm just asking it to recompile the whole project again and tell me if there is any error. Okay, so I see that there is already one error there, so let's see where is the error. Okay, let it build the whole project altogether. Okay, once this project has been created and this thing are been completed, and if you see any red color dot here in this area, that means you find that you must understand that there is an error and it's not going to compile. Now I'm not going to click here and run this project, because if I run this project, it's going to run the compute salary which contains the main method. I don't want that thing to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and at any place, empty place within this project, right click and then say run this project. Keyboard shortcut is Shift F6. So I'm going to run this particular file alone, not the project. So when I run this particular file, you notice that it is going to ask me for enter the employee name. I'm going to type my name, and the salary I'm going to type 100. Okay, and you notice that it has given me entire thing. It has calculated everything and given to me, and I'm going to just make a few changes. I want this line to come in the next, and I don't want so many zeros to come because it is a double precision. So let's fix this problems. First of all, I'm going to remove this print ln so that it will come in the same line. If you note, so this is what you're going to see. You will notice one thing over here is even though I've run this particular project, is I have missed the, what is this? We have dearness allowance, we have what is this, provident fund, but I missed the house rent allowance. I missed one line there, but it's okay. I'm going to just type this thing. So just click on this output here, and you will see the output there. So I'm going to type the name as money, and my salary is 100. And you know very well, this is what it's going to look like. If the salary is 100%, you notice that the 15% of 100 rupees is 15 itself. Even though house rent is not shown, that is HRA is not shown, this must be 10 rupees itself. And provident fund is 12 rupees because it is all in 100. So it is easier for you to calculate it. So 10% of 100 rupees, 15% of 100 rupees is 15 itself. 12% of 100 rupees is 12 itself. Now I have missed that HRA. I'm going to just add that HRA, and I'm going to just complete this one. So how do you do that thing? Is I'm going to just select this dearness allowance and copy it, Control C, and just press enter and paste it. And I am supposed to write a house rent allowance, HRA. So I'm going to just copy this three words from here and just paste it here, house rent allowance. And this is not DA, naturally this is this part is HRA. Okay, so that being done, let me run it for the final thing. So in my case only, I'm what I'm doing is I'm clicking on this run and clean build this project. In my case only, in your case you don't have to do it. Suppose if you're not getting it, then please do it. Like the one that you are that what I am experiencing now is it is not recompiling it on its own, so I'm forcing it to compile it. So if this is the case, then only you go to the run and clean build this particular project. Okay, now how do you run this? Remember, you have to run this file only, not the entire project. Don't click here and run it. So I'm going to right click anywhere in the blank area and I'm going to say run file. Okay, when you run this file, this is how it's going to look like, and you have the name. Let me type the name as money, and salary is 1,000 rupees. I'm going to take it as 1,000 rupees, and let's see the details. And the 15% of 1,000 rupees is 150 rupees. 10% of 1,000 rupees is 100 rupees, and 12% of 1,000 rupees is 120. If you add this one, the 100, this is 1,000, and 100 and 150. So this is going to be 100 and 150 is 250, and 1,000 250 is the gross salary. From 1,000 250, if you subtract 120, what you're going to get is 1,130. So this is the expected result. That's all in this video. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class. Thank you.